Hello friends, my name is Shivam from DevOps Schools and I will help you to enable your learning process in various technologies of DevOps, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data and many more. This is our initiative to help you by sharing multiple tutorials and videos. And if you want any specific tutorials or any particular topic, then please do comment in the below comment section and I will help you with it. Also, please subscribe to our premium services on YouTube, which will give you access to more content and videos to enhance your knowledge about all these topics. Also, if you want me to help you with regards to the online trainings and classroom sessions by our qualified trainers, then please do write me at contact@devopsschool.com. Thank you.
So let us understand what we call Dtm architecture. I repeat, let us try to understand what we call the Dtm architecture and see how Dtm architecture is going to work. So Dtm means data transformation manager. So that's it. Yeah. So now, so let us understand what we call how this is going to work. Yeah. I repeat, let's understand how data transformation manager is going to work. Yeah. So first of all, why we need to call a data transformation manager? Because transform, which is going to be what? Movement. Movement based on what? Based on what? Data. Right? So that is where data transform which into picture. So we are going to have one manager who is going to handle this particular what we call data movement activities, which is what we call Dtm process, or we can also call it as parent process, or we can also call it as director. These are all synonyms, so you don't need to get confused. It could be a director, or it could be Dtm process, or it could be what we call parent process. These are all synonyms. Yeah? So that's it. Which means we talked about workflow, right? So let us take workflow with the name of what W. I repeat. Let us talk about workflow with the name of what W. Now, when you try what I call spawning this particular workflow, what happens when it says start WF? Then what happens? First, you should start the process corresponds to workflow, which is what we call Dtm process. Yeah. So this architecture required in order to understand the logging stuff. Remember, I said the thing I told you guys that logging part I'll talk about it later, right? But I'm trying to talk about it architecture. So once you understand this architecture, right, flow from top to bottom, you would understand clearly. Yeah. So that is going to be the parent process. So when you start, first it's going to span process. Now, once we have DTM, next step is what? What are the underlying tasks we have? Let's say start task. Then we have, let's say session task. Then let us say we have some other tasks. We can have any number of tasks, right? Yes, sir. So for each of these tasks, what Informatica does, it is going to spawn separate thread. I repeat, for each of these tasks, what Informatica does, it is going to spawn what I call separate threads. So that is what happens with respect to what I call spawning threads, yeah? Session thread and start thread and other task threads. Like we have got multiple event-based threads and so on, right? Now, how internally it works? In a sense, if you say session, what does session contain? That's a session points to what? That's a mapping. So you will have mapping thread also, right? Now, what does this mapping contains? Mapping contains what? One is, let's say, source. Then we will have transformation, yeah, right? And then followed by target. So what are the threads that we have for all of them? So that is where you will have what source thread, we can say, or we can say reader thread. Then you'll have a transformation thread. So which means for every transformation, it is going to spawn a thread. It is going to be transformation thread and writer thread. So these are the multiple threads, right? Now, so which means what? These are the basic threads we have for every ETL mapping. Whatever basic mapping you create, right? This is the bare minimal amount of what threads that should be created by Informatica. I repeat, these are the bare minimal amount of threads that should be created by Informatica. Remember that, yeah. I repeat, these are the bare minimal amount of threads that should be created by Informatica. Yeah. So now the next step is what we need to start getting into what I call rest of the steps, which is going to be what I call. Do you have any other thread? And what these threads are going to do, I'll talk about it. So first, let me list out. Other threads are what? We have pre-session thread, and we have got post-session thread. Right? I repeat, we have got pre-session thread, and we also have got post-session thread, which means what? Before we execute the session, if you want to perform some activities like a cleanup or whatever, right? We could always take care by using what? Pre-session thread. Similarly, after the execution of session, if you want to perform some extra activities, whatever activity that would be required for at workflow level or session level or some other task level, doesn't matter. But in this particular thread, whatever post options that we define, so those things will be taken care of. Yeah? So that's about threads. Now let us talk about one by one. So this is a start. This is a starting point for any what I call workflow, right? And session. So it's an instance of a mapping, which means we can only invoke a mapping by making use of separate task, which is known as session task, right? So we also have got multiple types of tasks like event rates, event wait, command task, assignment task, and so on. Which means what? We can also define our own other tasks like notification tasks. For example, at the end of this workflow, if you want to send an email with what you call log messages, whatever, right? We could also do that. For that, we will have what I call notification task, or we can say email task. Yeah. So likewise, we have got event wait task. Likewise, we have got event raise task. Then we have command task and so on. Depending upon whatever task that we use within your workflow, right? The corresponding threads that would be created over here. I repeat, depending upon whatever task that we use, right? The corresponding threads would be created over here. So that is what we could able to say over here, right? Now, once we do that, then the next step is what we can start getting into what I call understanding the mapping thread. Yeah, the mapping thread, it will have minimal things like source, target, and transformation, right? So for everything, you will have, remember, reader thread, it's going to read one from what I call the buffer, and write means what? Write a buffer. Remember, if you take any pipe, we know pipe, right? What is a pipe? Yeah. So pipe. Yeah. So we all know what is a pipe. For example, if you take any pipe, you will have, let's say, writer and sorry, this is the reader, and other side is what? Writer. Right? Every pipe will have what I call reader end and writer end. That is what we can see over here. Right? So it is going to write data to a pipe. Let's say this is a pipe, right? So it is so left side is going to write it, right side it is going to read it. So that is what we could able to say with respect to what I call writer and reader. Yeah. So pipe, right? So pipe means what? Who is going to write? Who is going to read? So writer is going to write it, reader is going to read from the pipe. Remember, pipe is just like a interface or a channel through which multiple threads would talk to each other. Remember, multiple threads are here are what? Writer and reader. For example, if you take our transformation we discussed, right? Like plot file. So it is going to place the data onto what? Pipe. Yeah? And then, so some other guy, let us say we talked about source qualifier, right? Source qualifier. It is going to read the data from this pipe. This is a simple example to understand like how the pipe will be used. Like in normal operating system, we all know that, right? The pipe is one of the IPC mechanism or ITC mechanism, means inter-process communication or inter-thread communication. In this context, we are trying to use inter-thread communication. So pipe is a channel where multiple threads can talk to each other. Remember this. Yeah? Clear, right? So that's about what you call simple way to understand the pipe part. I'll talk about parallelism things later. Now let's understand the only Dtm architecture. Yeah? So that's it. Similarly, for every transformation, you will have what separate thread? The source qualifier one thread, filter one thread, router one thread, lookup one thread, and so on. Remember this, which means what? It is going to create n number of threads based on the number of transformations that we have, right? So that's what we can see as part of this particular what you call transformation thread, right? So that's it. Like how this particular transformation thread will be used for. Yeah. So now we know reader thread, writer thread, mapping thread, session thread, pre-session thread, post-session thread, which means these are the multiple threads we have it as part of what? DTM process, which means we need to understand the log based on this thread. See what mapping thread is doing, what session thread is doing, what writer is doing, what reader is doing, what pre-session, what post-session, all that we could be able to see as part of what log. Anyway, I'll show this theoretical stuff in log also, log file, where you will understand better if I just talk about it with practical example, right? I can say, right? So what we need is to open this repository manager, yeah, right click and say connect. You can see connect here, yeah, all of you.
I'm not able to connect to PC rep.
What is the message you're getting, madam?
Yeah. Failed to connect, the same thing. Failed to connect repository.
Yeah. For that, what we need to do is, yeah, what we need to just go to this administrator client, madam. All of you, Delhi, Dinesh, and Priyanka. So please log on to this admin console. So open the Firefox. You open up, madam.
Yeah, that's what I did. In the repository manager only, this repository is under that PC rep. I'm trying to connect that.
That is correct. But to fix that issue, what we need to do is open the Firefox, madam, and supply this link, which is administrator link. You can see my system right now. Yeah. Yeah. Just apply this link, madam. Yeah.
So for me, it is getting license expert something there is the administrator.
Oh, this is a good thing. Huh? Okay. So, yes. So yours is
Second
2,
one.
right? Okay. Okay. What I think your date would have been changed. Can you please check your date, system date? This is fine, right? Yeah. What you can do is, Dinesh, I'm trying to recycle this service. Can you see others also? There is a green button, right? Recycle the service. You just have to click on that. Say okay. Let's wait for some time. Yeah.
I opened that administrator thing. In that,
Okay,
all
madam.
the services are down, seems. Can you open
Which
that?
means, very good. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Select PC rep. Can you see in Dinesh system, madam? I've just enabled PC rep. Can you see here? I just highlighted PC rep and go to the right top where you can see recycle the service. Can you see mouse pointer?
Yeah.
Recycle the service. Just click on that, madam. There, no?
Yeah.
That's what you need to do. Yeah. Yes, once recycle, right? Say okay. Dinesh, I think yours is fine, Dinesh, now. Yeah. So now you can
Yeah.
just go to repository manager, Dinesh, and then reconnect it again. It will work. Yeah. Again,
Yeah, sure.
right click and connect. So Priyanka, madam, I think it's working right on your system, and Delhi, yeah, Delhi is done. Okay. Yeah. So I think Susha madam is not there, right? Yeah, fine. So now let us go over here. Yeah. Now the next step is what we need to understand to get into what design aspect. Click on D. This will take you to what design outline. Yeah, and then say okay. Now you can right click and then say what connect. Yeah, copy and paste. Say enter. Yeah. Now you could able to say that it got connected, right? Yes, sir. That's it. Like how this particular connectivity. Yeah. Now let's select open to make it active folder, right? Yeah. Yeah. Now we have done it, right? Yeah. This is how we could able to log in. All of you could able to do, right? So Dinesh has done. Right click on extract folder and say open Dinesh, so that it will be active. In the sense, so we can see the golden color, right? That indicates the active folder. Oh, you still have column, right, madam? Priya?
No, it's not. It's not coming.
Yeah, one sec, madam. Let me open the Firefox. Yeah, others please watch. Looks like it's not working in our system. Yeah, go over here. So we are logging on to administrator client, madam. So yeah, here what we need to do is your services are. I think you made it up, no? PC rep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is
Okay, it
available
came
now.
up.
Yes, it was there, right? Earlier, no. Let us see anyway. Now let us try to right click and click connect. Yeah, administrator. Administrator. I think this is correct one. Yeah, it's working, madam. Yeah,
Okay.
fine. Now you can just open this designer, madam. Click on D. It's I think you already opened, right? Now here also you can connect. Right click on PC rep and connect, madam. Yeah, done, right?
Okay.
So that's it. Now, so let us move on to what the next step, which is going to be. So today we'll start with one practical example. So which is let us say yesterday I think we started somewhere at stored procedure, right? I think we created stored procedure. That's where we stopped. I think, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah. So now let us start getting into like how to make a call to that particular stored procedure, so that we could able to get to see the result. Yeah. So which one we did? I think select some we did. Huh? I think some we did. Let us see that. So go to mapping. Let us create a mapping. Yeah. Go to mappings menu and select what? Create. I repeat, go to mappings menu and select what? Create. Yeah. Apply the mapping name. I repeat, apply the mapping name. That is a mapping underscore what? I repeat, apply the mapping name, which is going to be what I call mapping underscore what? So
Procedure.
like yes, stored procedure. Yes, perfect. Yeah, yeah. Say okay. Fine. So now we got the mapping designer, right? All of you could able to see mapping designer workspace, right? Empty. Yeah. So 2 I can see, 3. Yes, madam. What happened, madam? So Priyanka, what I need to do is right click on this extract folder and then say open menu, so that it will be made as what? Active folder. Clear, no? Now once you have or once you made as active, right? So you all could able to see what this element. Yeah. So next is what yeah, I can just put it in left side. Then go to what? Tools. Yeah. I repeat, go to tools where you can see mapping designer. That's what we have anyway. Now go to mappings menu, select what? Create. Supply mapping name menu. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah. Yeah. Done, right? All. So let Priyanka also supply mapping name menu. It's done. Perfect. Now let us what is the input that is required for our what stored procedure? So input is, I think we talked about based on department. Yes. SP underscore AGG, which takes what? Depth number as input. Yeah. And out parameter is what? I think some cell we gave. Yeah. Some cell, right? So we need to supply input. So we should get the result as what? Some cell. Yeah. For that, we need to know, like, first of all, how to import that procedure and make a call by supplying the input. So input from where we can get this department number, can take what? Department table as input, where we have got multiple department numbers, right? Yeah. Let us expand overall DSN. I repeat, let us expand what we call overall DSN. Yeah. So once we do that, then let us start getting into what I call drag and drop. Yeah. Because no, now input we get it from, let's say, department table. So where we supply department number, but about procedure part we have not started, right? Now we need to look at that. For that, go to transformation. I repeat, for this, go to transformation and select what? Import stored procedure. I repeat, select what? Import stored procedure. That is what we can say over here, right? Import what? Stored procedure. Yeah. Now expand this ODBC part and select what? Vora BSN. Same as earlier. So you can supply hot tiger, hot user, and tiger is a password. Right? And then click on connect. Yeah. So that's what needs to be done. Yeah. Now expand spot, expand procedures. You could able to see SP because yesterday we created, no, all of you could able to see, right? Yeah. Separate tiger, Ganesh. Priyanka could able to see. Delhi could able to see. Yeah. Separate password is a tiger, TIGER, all working. Connect. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Expand spot procedures. Yes, perfect. Now select this SPAGG and then say what? OK. That's it. See, now you could able to import that particular procedure. Yeah. Now, how do we know that which is the input port, which is the output port? Yeah. For that, we can just double click on this SP, which is properties, where we can go and see the ports tab. Can you see here? I indicates what? Input port, and O indicates what? Output port. That is what we can see as part of this. Right? I repeat, I indicates what? Input port. O indicates output. Yeah. Which means we know, right? Whatever SP that we have done, we could able to see the reflection of that. Yeah. In Informatica. So far, so good, right? Now, what we need to do here, we need to supply input means what? IN department number we need to connect, from source. So let us connect this. Connect this IN department number from source to input to SP. So with this, what happens from the source? It is going to take each department number and calculates what? Some salary drawn in that particular department. Remember that. Yeah. Clear, no? So that's it. Now we can use any target. Let us go to target and select any target definition. Yeah. Now we can just some salary we can connect, and department number we can connect it from what? That's the source. Because we should not connect it from here. Reason is what? This is input only, not output. Remember, input means it can only receive it. It cannot send it. Remember. So this is how one can start what I call taking care of this configuration SP. Yeah. Now let's expand. Any questions here so far? I hope it is clear. Let me put it in the board. Yeah. So there's no confusion, right? So now department number, it is connected from source qualified to what? SP, and also department number has been connected to target also, because target first we need to get department number and should get what? Corresponding some salary in that department, right? But some salary will get it as a result from where? SP. Clear, right? That's fine. Now all done, right? Procedure, yes. Dinesh, done. Dinesh. Now you can add a target. Dinesh. Drag and drop target.
Yeah, yeah, my mouse
Yeah.
is slowly.
Oh, your mouse is not cooperating. Okay. Yes, Dilli has done. Yeah. Priyanka, please.
To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the 399 plan and grow your skills immensely.
This is perfect. So we just start to connect, madam. Department number to what? SP. Perfect. It is done, madam. Yeah. That's all we can see. Yeah. From the source to SP to target. Perfect, madam. It is done. So Dinesh is also done. Yeah, only target I should have. Yeah, release it. Place it, place it. Yeah, perfect. Now I can just connect. Let's say C2 I connected and C1 is from source to what? C1. That's all, Dinesh. Correct, no? Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Now the next step is what we need to start getting into what you call next step. The next step is going to be what you call like how one can start performing configuration of connection. So from which connection we need to get this particular SP. Can you see connection information dollar target, which means parameterized, but let us apply our connection which we already did here. Let it be there. We can do also later. Yeah? So at runtime also you can do it. Let us save it. Go to repository and save or control it. So that's it. Like how one can start getting into building a work or a mapping with multiple stored procedures. Yeah. Now, can you please go to workflow manager and create a workflow and execute it. See whether it's going to work or not. Yeah. Once you could able to do right, then I'll start getting to advanced topic. If not, I'll just show it. Yeah. Yeah. So you can see, right? So I'm trying to create workflow. Yeah. So go to task, and select the session task. Session underscore procedure. Okay? Create. So this is a mapping, right? Mapping underscore stored procedure, right? Yeah. Select it and then say okay. Done. That's it. Now let us connect. Yeah. Start task. Perfect. Next, configure session property. Go to mapping. Select SP department. So Oracle connection we have it. Then SP aggregation. Here connection information, right? Here we need to specify. Click on down arrow button and select what our connection. That's where we have SP, right? Yeah. So that's done. Next, go to this guy and supply the target. Yeah. So underscore stored dot txt. Yeah. Yeah. That's it. Save it. Yeah. So this is what we need to do. We're on the same page, right? Yeah. If it doesn't work, then we'll see how to fix it based on whatever the log says. Let's understand that. Now let's go to work and start work.
Sorry, I missed last 2-3 minutes. Had a power cut.
Okay, fine. What I was trying to say is we need to create a session for mapping stored procedure, Dilip, as a first thing.
Mhm.
Then
Mhm.
open the session properties, go to mapping tab. Here, first we need to specify the connection. This part we know, right? And then second,
Yeah.
under the SP ag, we need to specify the connection information here. Go to down arrow button where you can supply the connection variable as a dollar target we have, right? Yeah. Or we can also supply directly like Oracle here.
Target.
Yes.
In the target.
Yeah.
Mean to say.
Yes. Yeah. So that it is expecting what only variable. So instead of that, what we did was go to use object and select what Oracle. That's the connection we created, right? Yes.
Okay.
And then say okay. That's what we did. Then after that, we added this target. This part we know, right? Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Equivalent target. After that, we saved it. Then executed workflow. Now we are trying to look at the result.
Okay.
Yeah. Now go to workflow monitor. Right click and say connect.
I forgot to change that connection variable. So that's why I was not getting result. Now I got the result.
Now let us see. Yeah. Flow. So super. It's working right now. Yeah. Let us see this log. Okay. So now let us look at these details. Yeah. It is failed, right? In my case, it is failed. Let us see why it got failed. Get session log. See, this is what message we are getting. What is this? An internal exception occurred, log service. In case if you get this particular kind of error message, right? What we need to do is we need to go to workflow and open what? Get workflow log. Is that what you are getting, Dinesh? Or something else?
Yes. Same thing, right?
Yeah, perfect. Let us see. So here we could able to see. Can you see here? There is a message clearly here. Error, no? So session task instance cannot identify the unique related relational connection for an application variable, which is $target, whatever. Which means what? It did not assign the value to that particular variable, which is $target. That is, it's not proceeding further. Now, for that, what we can do here is, because it stopped here only, because as we discuss architecture, right? Workflow, what it does? DTM process. DTM process is going to spawn what? Spawn what session thread? That itself is not spawned. That's where it stopped. See, now you can correlate the architecture. So now, to solve that, what we can do here is go to mapping, SP, add, go to properties. Can you see here connection information? Here we can specify the connection stuff. Let us say Oracle, right? Specify the Oracle, apply, and then say OK. Like yesterday we did it for lookup, if I remember correctly. So that's it. Yeah. So once we do that, next step is what we can go back to workflow manager, right click on session and refresh mapping. Save it. We saved it, right? That's all we need to do. Now, if you go and look at this particular SP, yeah, can you see here the connection got changed? Earlier it was what? $target. Now we could able to say Oracle because we have changed it in as part of mapping level. The rest everything same. There is no change, right? Now let me try to rerun. Yeah, now it is under running. Yeah, now it's successful, right? We could able to see successful. Dinesh, now you can check Dinesh. See whether you still
No,
have problem.
Yeah. Now it is display output, sir. Yes.
Perfect. Now we can go and see the effect of it in the bottom. And you see here there are 4 rows. All the rows have been reflected in the target. It is successful. But we need to look at the result in the target file also, right? That is going to be the next step. Yeah. Right? Oh, you got it. Dinesh has got it. And he also has got it. And oh, fantastic. Only I have not got it. Let me go and see. Is it expected result? How do you confirm that? Whether it's right or wrong? We need to confirm, right? So let me just look at it. So did I change procedure, right? Okay. Did I change file name? Yeah, this was the result. Yeah. So look, I didn't change the file name. This is what you can see, right? So first 3 departments where we can see what sum salvage. Department number 40, we don't have any employees, right? That is why there is no data in there. That's all. So probably to confirm this, what we can do is we can fire a query in the backend. So whatever query that we have written within SP, right? So go to SQL plus, you all can do that. First, we need to confirm that, like whether Informatica works correctly or not. So what is the query we did? Select sum, 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 EM. Yeah, this is total, right? Then group by department. Yeah, this is what the result, right? Yeah. So for each department, let us say 8750 is for one department.
Yeah,
So that
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt. I just connected. I tried to restart the thing in Informatica, but it's not happening as such. Can you just look into that maybe a little later?
yeah, fine. It's not working, madam. You don't need to
No, it is.
restart. No, we don't need to
No,
restart anything
everything was got closed actually. So
because system got restarted. So what we need to do is we need to open the admin console. Yeah, others, right? We can verify this data in the target and see whether it's right or wrong. Yeah, please. Priyanka, Dinesh, and Delhi. Yeah, you can just do group by department number, Delhi. Yeah? So that for each department you'll get it.
Okay.
Because per department we are trying to obtain the data, right? Yeah. Looks like you have restarted, right, Susha?
yeah, I hit the restart. Right
Then you
click
should
and
not
I
do that.
restart.
No, that will take a lot of time. Why you
Or is
restart
it?
actually?
I don't. No,
Yeah.
it was getting highlighted. I thought restarting would open up. Everything
No, no,
was
no,
got
no.
closed. Nothing was there. Okay.
Yeah. Remember one thing. We should never ever forecast or predict or assume things. Remember, yeah? Whatever technology that we deal, no. So before we do some action, right, we need to understand why. Yeah. So you have done it, restart is fine. Again, it will take a lot of time to bring up all the services, Susha. Let us wait for some time. Fine, no?
See, everything
If it
was
does not,
closed. I did not had any option to just to see what needs to be done. So that's where I just restarted rather than
yeah.
disturbing
So what we
you.
need to do,
Okay, I wasn't
yeah,
knowing.
first is what To check whether the service is okay or not, we need to log on to this browser and see whether we could able to log in or not. If you are unable to log in, and see what went wrong. That's the next step, madam. Correct, no? Yeah. Fine. So yeah, let's wait for some time. It will come up. Yeah. It would have been started. Actually, you would have not subscribed this link. That's what we did today. Yeah. That's fine. Let's wait for some time, madam. Let it come up. Yeah. Because just when you restart, it will take a couple of minutes. Yeah. Now you could able to say this particular sum salary, right? Yeah. For each department. Yeah. So all of you could able to say it. Yeah, Delhi could able to perform query also. I think Priyanka you have not done, right, from backend side. So and Dinesh also looks like he has done. You have done, Dinesh? We need to confirm
Yeah,
that.
SQL Plus is not opening
Yes, madam.
for me. SQL Plus
SQL
is not
Plus.
opening for me.
Now what we need to do
Yeah.
is go to command prompt and type SQL Plus. It's not working. Huh? I don't know why. It's working, right? Spot Tiger. It's working, right, madam? Yeah. Anyway, now I can fire a query, madam. Like select sum or whatever, right? So you can just apply this query, yeah, like what you can see here, right? And see whether the result is okay or not, because we need to make sure that everything is perfect. Remember, whatever we do, right? So learning should be perfect. No? Somehow we should never do that. Yeah. So let me. Yeah, it's still coming up, madam. Madam. So the list. Yeah. Now, next thing. So whoever has done, right, an exercise. The meantime, I'll try to make this system to work. So what we need to do is, yesterday we talked about unconnected lookup, right? Can you make it to happen for stored procedure also? Meaning what? So without having connectivity from source to stored procedure, we should still get what? The result from SP. Remember, how do you do that? Like yesterday we make a call to lookup so that we could able to get the return value, which is what? Lookup name, department name, right? We got it. Similarly, here also same concept, right? For a given input, we are expecting some result, which means stored procedure takes what? Input as a department number and it returns what? Some salary. Correct, no? So same thing you need to do, which means what? Use source department, then expression where you need to make a call to SP so that we should get the return. Can you start doing it? So I request everyone to do that. Just wait for 2-3 minutes just to see whether you are in right page or not. If not, I'll show that. Yeah, because connected, unconnected, they are very important because especially from the performance perspective, based on the amount of data that we deal with. The small data, we need to act one way. If it is a mid-sized data, we need to act another way. If it is a very large volume of data, our action plan should be different. Remember. So that is why we should learn each and everything in detail. Remember, yeah? Based on the context, we need to pick up appropriate one. Yeah, start doing it. Yeah, create a new mapping where we need to deal with what? Unconnected stored procedure. Yeah. So anybody has done it? Looks like nice is going and is going. Looks like, yeah, this connection should not be there, Delhi. Now let me show it. Looks like so I forgot it. So now let me try to show it. Yeah, you can just watch. Yeah, look at here. Susha madam, you can also start doing it. Yeah, this is a new one, right? So now create new mapping, right? So supply mapping name. Let's say mapping stored procedure unconnected, right? Clear, right? So now let us take department number or department as an input here. Yeah, right. Now the next step is what we need to import the stored procedure. You can see, right? Go to transformation and select what import stored procedure. Connect it and expand this particular vertical procedure and select what SP aggregation. Correct? No? Till now we're on the same page, right? All done, right? Priyanka, Delhi, and Dinesh. Just supply the name, Dinesh. Yeah, perfect. Say okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Now, so far, so good. Now we have got SP, right? We need to configure complete SP and make it what unconnected. That is our goal. Correct? No, like what we did in the last session for lookup, right? Same thing we are going to do for SP. I'm repeating that. So now let us open the properties of stored procedure. Go to ports. Yeah, can you see here? This guy takes what input department number and properties. We can just go and add the connection details like what we did. Go to connection and select what Oracle. Yeah, like we did this in previous example, right? And then say okay, right? Yeah. So yeah, drag and drop this department, madam, Kusha, madam. So what I'm trying to show here is drag and drop this department. Now looks like yours, you don't have SP, right? I think we need to create SP here. Okay, what is the yeah. Create procedure SP underscore ag, right? Let me use same name here. So what is that department number? Huh? Yeah, IN underscore dep number in number number comma some cell out number, right, as begin and end. Let's semicolon. Here we need to write some cell into some underscore cell, which is output port, right? Some EMP where def number equal to I think this is anyway. It doesn't work. Tusha madam, you can see, right? I'm doing it for you only. Tusha madam, are you there? Not time. Yeah. Copy paste. Oh, sorry, an error. Better repeat. Out. Out means spelling problem. Yeah. Tusha madam, are you there? So yeah, perfect.
Looks like
SP is created,
system.
madam. Sorry, yes, some problem. Huh?
Yeah, problem with the system.
Yeah, internet. Yes. But anyway, let us come back. That I'll show it. So now this is done, right? Apply and then say okay, right?
Don't we have to deselect the output and the input as well for the stored prop? This is
Where, madam? In stored procedure. Huh?
in the port. Yeah.
No, here we don't need
So,
to do anything for now. Yeah?
but
So let
this
me
is
explain.
unconnected. But this is unconnected, right? So this should
That's
not
what.
ideally have any input or output flow, right?
Perfect. Yes, that's correct. We are going to do that. Yeah, what you are saying is right, madam. So we are going to do that. Now let us start making use of expression transformation. Correct, no? So select expression and supply expression TRX for what? SP. Yeah. Expression transformation for what? SP. Right? Create and here it should expect what? Department number as input. We all know that. Yeah. Now we need to know like how to make a call to what? Stored procedure. That's the next question, right? Now I am going to answer a question, madam. Practical question, practical answer. We're all on the same page, right? Till now. Dinesh, Delay, yes, I think we're on the same page. Now double click on this expression transformation. Go to ports and add a new port. Can you see it? Yes, this is going to be the what I call sum shall from SP output. Sum underscore shall underscore SP. Because from SP we are going to get that, and the type is going to be decimal or double, whatever, right? And precision, let it be 10 or whatever, doesn't matter. And disable this I. This is what I think you are trying to refer, right? So you need to disable this particular input port because we expect the result from SP. Yeah. Now, so far is done, right? All. Dinesh, yeah. A lookup you should delete. Dinesh, delete lookup. Lookup is not required. Delete the lookup. Lookup is separate concept. Yeah. So that's it. Now call this expression transformation. Dinesh. Expression. So now expr underscore trx, right? That's what we need to do. And then now yeah. So then here it should take department number as input. Dinesh. Now double click on this expression transformation. Go to ports and add a new port. From now on, I'm trying to explain. Yeah. I think she has done it and Dil has also done it. Perfect. Now let us click on down arrow button. Right. So here we need to see store procedures navigation part. Can we all could able to see store procedures? Yes or no? Because yesterday we focused on lookup, but we could able to lookup function. Now we are trying to focus on stored procedures, right? Under stored procedure, we can see our SP, right? That's it. First delete this and double click on this. See, it takes what? Input department number. You could able to see clearly signature of this particular SP, right? Yeah. So that's it. Double click on it and supply what? Input is what? Department number. Just go to ports tab, double click on it. See, store. Then we need to supply one extra thing here, which I didn't talk about, proc underscore result, which is a pre-built macro within what? Informatica. No? Repeat, second argument is what? Proc, which is procedure result, which means it maintains the status of the stored procedure. That's all. Yeah, part 4 is perfect, and yes, we need to supply department number and proc result. Dinesh, not you already did, so fast. Please not. Dinesh, so what? Now I'm trying to show it. Can you see here? Expand this SP. You gave this one a name. Your name is different, right? And that is fine. So now double click on it and supply department number, comma, of the result, right? should be capital. What happened?
Please enroll our general membership for $399 plan to get access of all the parts.
Along with that, you can access our other tutorials such as Docker, Ansible, Jenkins, Terraform, Splunk, AWS, Azure, and various other DevOps related premium tutorials with our channel membership. If you would have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopsschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the $399 plan, and grow your skills immensely. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Thanks for watching.